inside. Just
What makes the Northern Maine Fair harness racing special?
It's very unique. It's more of a down-home fair, you know. Brings in a lot of fairgoers from, you know, up in the northern region, but we've got a lot of fellas that we're drafting back up here that race down in southern Maine as well. So they've made a lot of changes, and I think it's good changes, and the horsemen are coming back to the fair now.
And now, a place out west has made no move in the mile. Off the turn they roll. Down the lane they come. My leader is out there, Eric's Legend. Eric's Legend, always a contender, is coming right on the wire. Get a picture. Here they are.
Excuse me, sir. We're trying to keep...
1972.
Right.
There's too many numbers to count. It's not 72. It's not 40 years.
Yeah, 40 years. Wow. What's been what's different from the fair today or racing today, say 40 years ago? What are some of the improvements? What are some of the things that have gotten better or gone down?
Racing has totally changed since I got into it, and in my opinion, the people involved totally different, and we'll leave it at that. And racing-wise, in the old days, there was much more strategy, and nowadays it's strictly speed. They just they go as fast as they can go, as far as they can go. Back in the old days, you saved a horse, you moved a certain time in the race, and there was a lot more strategy to it, maybe a lot more interest.
What's different about the 2012 fair that may be unique from other fairs?
This year we didn't open on Friday night, which was a little unusual for most of the horsemen because they were used to racing on Friday nights or whatever. This year they're running from Sunday through to Friday, straight forward. It's going to be a change, obviously. Hopefully they'll draw the crowd. We'll see how it works. I'm not sure how it's going to work. We'll see.
As well as friends of his family. Tony, you will be missed. Get me on the memory of Tony Palmer, Tony Palmer Memorial Days.
There you go.
What were some of the strategies that they used, back in the day?
Well, back in the day, for example, every driver carried a stopwatch, and they drove to the stopwatch, the fractions. They got to the quarter pole, and they had the stopwatch and the 3/8 pole and whatnot, and they knew when they wanted to move, when they didn't want to move. Billy Houghton, one of the greatest drivers ever in the sport, I talked with him one time regarding driving, and a little thing that Billy would say, when you want to leave a horse and get off the rail, these young kids, they'll pull to get off the rail. He said, you don't pull with the right hand. He said, you just ease off the left hand. Then they don't see what you're doing. It's just an example. Here, they just bang, 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 and go.
Yeah.
It's a totally different game.
Oh, I've been presiding judge in Maine for, I think this is my 19th year, and I worked as an associate and patrol judge before then. So.
How long have you been coming to the Northern Maine Fair?
3 or 4 years now.
Yep. What makes our fair? It's one of the oldest tracks in the country for harness horse racing. Do you enjoy coming up here? What makes us different?
Well, I've always liked Presque Isle. In my other life, I was a professor at the University of Maine, and I used to come up here and teach afternoon and evening courses at the university. I like Aroostook County and the opportunity to come up here. I like the Presque Isle Fair, the Northern Maine Fair. To me, it's reminiscent of the way a lot of fairs used to be, agricultural based. A lot of community involvement and support. And so, it's just a nice venue, and it's a nice time of year.
Right. What's the most challenging part about your job as a judge?
Oh dear, that's a difficult question. Obviously, observing the races, making sure that the drivers comply with the driving rules, but there's also issues that people don't understand, the eligibility of buses, the drawing of the races, putting together the races, and in general just management, making sure that things flow as they're supposed to flow. There's a lot of people involved in making a race meet successful, and I think just getting a cooperative group of people together and with task orientation, it's fun when it goes well.